If you want to become a better leader in the shortest amount of time, learn from people who have done it. Our first speaker has a lengthy resume of success in many leadership roles, which you can read in her bio. To sum up her success, in her roles as Cincinnati mayor, vice mayor, and city council member, she helped enhance the quality of life in our neighborhoods, helped build a globally competitive local economy, and has responsibly managed a limited city budget. In addition to her public service, she has taught leadership courses at Northern Kentucky University and served as the director of women's service organizations. She exemplifies the phrase involved community leader, and you are about to learn her secrets to effective leadership with her presentation, Leading Change, Transformation and Relationship. Please help me welcome Roxanne Qualls.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, Rick, and good morning. It's a pleasure being here with you. I've had a variety of opportunities to talk with a variety of different groups about leadership. But before I actually share with you the lessons I've learned, what I want to do is share with you a story. Because for me, the story brings home the perspective that one has to keep. A number of years ago, I was taking a walk in Cincinnati's wonderful Eden Park. Great day, beautiful spring, the flowers were blooming, the birds were singing. It was terrific. I see this car begin to approach me, and it's slowing down. So I assumed that the person was going to stop, and probably was going to stop because they probably recognized me. So sure enough, the car, it's this big old Cadillac, comes up, slows down, stops. And the guy in the car, he's in the car with his wife. He's an older gentleman. He buzzes down the window, and he's very excited. And he says, "You're Roxanne Qualls." And of course, being human, I stood up a little taller. I lowered my voice and said, "Well, yes, I am." And he said, "I told my wife you were the mayor. Do you know where we can park?" And what I've learned is that for many people, leadership is about knowing where to park. They want someone who will basically have the answer to provide direction to them. And we know when we ask the question, what is leadership? Who are leaders? What does it really mean? That this is a question that is on the minds of many, many people. You just have to Google leadership and you come up with over 500 million hits. It's astounding. And if you were to type leadership into Amazon.com, you're going to come back with a response that also is in the thousands of books that people have written about leadership. And why is that? Why are we so preoccupied with the question of leadership? I would argue that it's because as we find ourselves in an increasingly complex, diverse, multicultural world, our organizations, ranging from family to church to business to politics, have become more complicated. That it is not simply a matter anymore of managing for results. It's about providing leadership that brings about the types of positive changes for both the people within the organizations as well as for the organizations themselves. And so this morning, in the brief time that I have, I'd like to share with you 3 lessons that I've learned about leadership. What it is, what its purpose is, and also what's probably one of the most important skills that you can have. What is it? Well, you're going to read a lot of books that try to get at what leadership is, and many of them are going to focus on qualities. But I would say to you that what leadership is it's a relationship. And first and foremost, you need to recognize that it's a relationship. It's a relationship between a leader and those that choose to follow him or her. And they make that choice because the leader expresses and embodies the aspirations, the values, and the goals of those people who are choosing to follow that person. It's a dynamic relationship that involves changing for the better both those people who are in leadership as well as those that follow. The second thing that I've learned is what the purpose of leadership is, because obviously when you're young and starting out, you don't have a lot of answers. And so as I've reflected back on what has been a lengthy career, the purpose of leadership, I believe, is to bring about positive, constructive change. And that's true whether you're talking in very small groups, very intimate groups like your family, but also very true when you're looking on a global level at political institutions as well as government. And then finally, you have to ask yourself the question oftentimes, of all the skills of leadership, what are some of the most important? And I would suggest to you this morning that the most important skill of leadership is knowing how to manage and make productive the inevitable competition and conflict that results from leadership. And why is that the case? Why do you have to manage competition and conflict? Because, two reasons. One is that as a leader, people don't choose to follow you simply because of who you are. You have to actually articulate and express the values, goals, and aspirations that people can believe in and do believe in. But there are other people out there who have competing ideas, visions, values, aspirations, and goals. So competition is inevitable. Also, internally within groups, you're also oftentimes going to find that people, as well as different factions within those who follow you, have different ideas and needs for resources. And so, yes, communicating is important. Yes, sometimes even managing well is important. Yes, being charismatic can be helpful. But ultimately, one of the key, if not the key quality that a great leader has to have is the understanding of conflict and the ability to manage it. So, constructive change, a relationship, and the ability to manage conflict. Those were the three lessons that I've learned over now almost 40 years of public service. And I thank you for inviting me to be here, and I'm very excited about this group. In fact, you know, it may be getting on my schedule for future visits. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Roxanne.